Hey, it's Seago here.
And it's Fadescape.
And today we're going to talk about
Tomb Raider. So, the developers for this game are Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. Crystal Dynamics has previously done the Uncharted franchise. And
good games.
So, that's kind of like similar to Tomb Raider here. But Square Enix, of course, is famous for really beautiful graphics, and that's definitely in this game as well.
Big part of it. Like, I don't think anything they make has even decent graphics. It's just above good. Alright, so plot. You are an British archaeologist, and
it's your first trip, and you're on this ship, and it crashes into this island, and you're stranded there, and you must learn how to survive, and you must find the rest of your crewmates, and it's a struggle because you have basically no skills, so you have to learn things. You know, you gotta fight for your life.
That's
a big part of the game.
Yeah, like, it goes back to this whole survival thing. Uncharted is more not survival as it is action-y, but in this game, action isn't necessarily super big. You don't really do your first kill until a good hour into the game. The rest is just surviving. Like hunting. I saw that very early on. Like, oh, I have to hunt for food. And your only weapon's a bow. And it was extremely interesting to hunt down animals and just kill them for your own survival. Heat was also a thing. Like,
yeah, they use fire a lot in the game, which, I mean, you wouldn't think, okay, fire's just a light or it's just a heat source, you know, that you're not cold. But no, you actually use it for, like, puzzles. So, like, you light something on fire and you can access a different part of the building, or you know, make your way through different places by lighting stuff aflame. And even if you light stuff on fire too, that environment will then change. So you could light something on fire in a building, and that building starts to catch fire. So then you leave, you turn around, the building is now engulfed in flames. It's a really cool aspect that your environment isn't just static. Like, it's not going to be the same when you come back, you know?
Yeah. So, in terms of, I guess, more gameplay, I guess, is all I can think of. Like I said, survival, very big. But action, it's also, like I said, not at the beginning, but once you get into it, it's very intense and fast-paced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely goes well with the feel of the game, you know? I mean, Lara Croft goes from this noob, this rookie, to the Tomb Raider, you know, the total BA of, you know, archaeology.
Badass.
So, yeah. So, you know, she's growing as a character, and that's definitely a big emotional tie with that. So that really enhances the game. And you've got different weapons too that definitely are different ways to use them, because I mean you in the beginning, like you said, you have the bow, and that's not just used in the beginning. You can use that throughout the whole game. I mean, the biggest advantage to that is definitely the sneaking part of that. Stealth kills, yeah. But I mean, you gain later on. You get a pistol, you get a shotgun, you get a semi-automatic, but you upgrade your bow too, so that way you can shoot like ropes so that you can cross big caverns, chasms, whatever. So it's not just here's this weapon, use it for a while and then get a new one that's better. It's use all that you have to survive.
Which sounds like a lot of fun. So, burning to death. Don't quote me on this because I'm not 100% sure if it's right, but I hear originally this scene was a little different, and it was suggested that she was raped. Is that true? Do you know?
No, I've read several articles, and then that was disproved because it was just, the scene was so intense where she's basically fighting this man with a gun to her throat that it's that intense. And I mean, how would you react if there was a guy with a gun at your throat? You would freak out, and that is her first kill. She shoves the gun away and shoots the guy, and she's shaken up after it. But then that's kind of ironic about the rest of the
killing
game
frenzy.
After that. Yeah, killing spree. She she shows like no remorse after that for killing.
That's how it is. The first one's always like, oh, I feel bad. Okay, let's go shoot some kids.
I mean, hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Yeah. Kind of missed it, but that bone protruding from her side kind of grossed me out when I saw it.
Yeah.
It was just... It's gotta be like disease-ridden. It's just gross bones.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty graphic as far as, like, getting hurt and the deaths, because they're not just, oh, you're gonna respawn or something, you know, or you're gonna go back and you're gonna do it again. It's, oh, you're gonna get hurt really bad. You're gonna die in this game, because it's not gonna look pretty. You know, that's probably definitely enhances that, too, because, you know, if there's consequence for it. So you really gotta be on your toes.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Moving on. Fire. You said fire is a lot, not just for warmth, but for puzzles. In my opinion, Tomb Raider is kind of known for its puzzles. It's definitely had it throughout its career. And there's not a lot of puzzle games I enjoy, with the exception of Portal, but that's nothing but puzzles. And this is one of those situations where I actually enjoy the puzzles of the game, to take a small break from non-stop killing to do something a little more interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely different things you can do in the game, puzzle-wise. I mean, there's several tombs, you know, here and there that you can explore. But there's also collectible sort of things, like, and the plot is linear, but you can go and explore other places too, and you'll unlock places as you go as well. So it's not like, oh, I have to follow the storyline, you know, strictly, and I can't go explore. And but it's not. Conversely, it's not like Skyrim or something like that, where you can go anywhere and do anything. But like there's different things to collect, and there's more of the story to learn, you know, and like I said, the environment changes too. So you get a new weapon, you can get to other places.
Yeah. This goes kind of without saying if you've watched anything for this game. It's very cinematic, like, to the extreme. There is a significant amount of button mashing, and most of the time, too much button mashing is, like, it's not good, because you're like, oh, I have to push this, this, and this to punch. But I think it's executed very well in a Tomb game, as it were.
Yeah, definitely. Like, what I think of is, you know, you have to really put a lot into doing. Like, she has to do a lot put a lot of strength into, like, to shove someone off or something, you know. So that's why it requires a lot of button mashing. And I'm not really, you know, I mean, button mashing isn't the greatest thing ever, but I'm glad it's one button and not, or one or two, and then not, you know, hit this and this and this, and like a code to do a certain move.
Code?
Yeah,
the game
like
has
a code.
Codes.
Well, like, sometimes, like, with fighting games, you have to hit a certain sequence of buttons.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider, Street Fighter, that'd be weird.
That would be weird.
See, even simple puzzles like this at the beginning, it's just...
Yeah. It's a lot of, platforms kind of things, but not, like, very straight. Like, you have to do a lot of... Like, you can go multiple ways to figure out how to get from one place to another.
And that's always good to have, like, not just one set way to do things, because not everyone's going to see it right away. It's like, oh, I couldn't do something instead of. There is a lot of explosions in this game.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Bay explosions.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Nope.
I dig the survival. Like, any game with just survival and action is good in my book. Even though there's a cave collapsing on top of us. So, you want to give it its final verdict, as it were?
Well, I've definitely seen a lot of good ratings, you know, as far as it goes. I've seen a lot of 9 out of 10s, you know, 9.5, 9.1s. I've seen a lot of 4 out of 4 stars or 5 out of 5 stars.
Pirate ship.
I
agree. As far as reboots go, some of them have been good, some of them have been bad. This is an exception of something that's very good.
This is a very interesting reboot, you know, it's definitely
lives up to Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it definitely is a good way to restart something, and especially with a great female heroine, because now it's not just, this is game for guys, this is, you know, an accurate story about a female rising up and destroying
Kicking
anything. Yeah, destroying anything that's in her way. So, and I think that's really cool because the person who wrote the story is the daughter of Terry Pratchett, one of the big fantasy writers, and I think that's really important that that female authors write female stories.
I agree. So,
As far as replayability goes, I mean, there's definitely probably a lot more to collect.
probably.
But I think there was a multiplayer thing, but
We haven't looked into that.
Yeah, and that wasn't that in depth.
So I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Tomb Raider. Check it out. It looks pretty amazing.
in stores now.
Thanks for watching.